All right, here we are. Hi everybody, this is Pam with Jesusjunkjournals, and we're gonna make some more of our healing folio. Today, this is from the prototype. We're gonna make this removable folio. And so I had a couple more pieces. When I was cutting them out, I noticed there was a couple pieces I didn't mention to you. So, where did it go? It's this piece that says Notepad top, and then this piece that says pocket on back of removable folio. And both of these are on page 11 of the main kit. So I left myself what each one was when I cut it out. So I'm gonna have to cut those off and ink them, but I wanted to be sure when I talked to you that I told you the right thing. I'm going to start with this. This is the outside middle and right panel of removable foil. And I can always ink that later. Now there are little marks on here, so I'm going to take my scoring board and line those up. Ooh. And then score it on that line. Okay. So it's going to go like this, and then we'll get, this one is the inside, middle, and right panel. Okay, inside, middle, and right panel. And so, I'll score this one. That top mark's just a little hard to see, but it's right where the design changes. And I changed this from my prototype, so I'm going to have to quit looking at my prototype because it's going to confuse me. Okay. So I really want it to fold this way, so just fold it back. And then this is the back. And so what you're going to do is you're going to make a 3-panel folio. So what we're going to do is glue these two together, and then we're going to take these other panels and fill in with those. So that way it'll be good and strong and not fall apart. And so get my art glitter glue. And line that up as best you can. And I mean, I don't know about you, but the best job I can do, I still end up with it a little wonky. So that's what washi tape is for. And so I'm going to glue that on, fold it, make sure it looks good when it folds shut. And then this one, left, now this says left outside panel. Ignore that, it's going to go on the inside. And we're going to trim it off when we get done. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this. I titled each piece, and then I went back and changed things around, and I tried to retitle them properly, but it looks like I missed one there. But this is where it goes, and we will trim it off as needed. Okay, so don't jam it too far into the fold or it'll bind up. And that's gonna, oh, I didn't get it quite to the bottom, so, oh, it looks all right, it's just this edge. So trim this edge off. And then, let's see, flip it over, and then this panel, will go here, and it's got a bit of a gap here, so we're going to use some washi tape when we finish. Any gaps, that's what washi tape is for. So I'm going to push that all the way over to the edge. Okay. And so this is going to go like this. And I'm going to change around a couple of things. But first of all, we're going to do washi tape. So let me find a washi tape that I like. Okay. I want one wide enough that it will go over the fold and fold. You got to fold this up. Now remember, whenever you have a fold and you use washi tape, you really need to fold it like this. And, okay. And my glue doesn't like it when I reposition it, but I didn't want it that far over. Okay. And then wrap it around to the back. Trim it off. And I like to fold things both ways just to make sure everything's good. And this one, I'm going to trim that edge off just a little bit. And then the pockets are going to go over here. So let me cut my little name tags off here. That's the top one. This is the bottom one. And this is the middle one. And I'm going to ink that before I glue it because it'll be really hard to glue, or real hard to ink once it's glued. Okay, so it goes like this. You can adjust them however far up you want them to go. I kind of like the pockets. I think they're pretty, so I'll probably take it pretty far up. And then adjust these accordingly so it looks right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue this one first. So put that where I want it. Keep it away from the fold if you can, because you don't want to bind your fold up. And I'm going to take a pencil or pen and just kind of make a mark and put glue on the two edges. So pull it over to this edge and away from the fold. Like that. And then this one, I kind of want it to cover that, like come down to where that is, I think. And then, no, I got to cover this up over here. Okay, so that's going to be the limiting factor. So it's going to have to go up like that. So I'm going to make a mark here. And this one, for whatever reason, is sticking out just a little bit. So I'm going to let it overlap here and cut it off. I don't want to bind the fold. That's the most important thing. So if I need to trim it off, so be it. And then glue this one just a little bit over here on this side where it's straight. And again, I'm more concerned about my folds, so I'm going to line it up there and then across the bottom and trim it off on the edge. Okay. And then take my ink, just touch that up because I trimmed it. And same thing on these edges. Hit those with ink wherever you want them to show up. So we've got that done. So then we have a notepad. Cut that off. You're gonna score these 3 lines. I really like making notepads. I think they're so cool. And I'm gonna use my crop-a-dial to punch my hole. And then you're gonna need a ribbon. So this is what, fold it in the middle, and then these fold inside. And they should be just a little bit short, so they should fit like that. And you're gonna wanna cut some paper. I just used plain copy paper, but you can use, really cool, whatever paper you have on hand. I cut them, and I used a little bit of graph paper somewhere in here. I cut up a couple of sheets of graph paper and included it. This is 5 inches, and it's made to go in the middle panel, so it's just a little short on each side so it'll fold shut. So you want your paper to be just shy of 5 inches. So you just got a little bit on each side, and just cut a bunch of paper up. And then you're gonna put this on it. Get it lined up where you want it. Push it all the way in. And I'm going to clamp this because I got to get my crop-a-dial out. I just kind of eyeball it, and I just punch a couple holes, just kind of like, like a 3/4 of an inch or so over from each side. And make sure I got the right one. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I need to get my ribbon though. So figure out what color ribbon you want. And this thing is pretty multicolored, so you can get away with almost any color. So I actually might use orange just because there's orange over here. And not very many times am I going to use a bright orange. So you want a piece that's like the length of where you're going to put it behind it, and then come back to tie a bow. So I need a little bit more than that. Come back like that. That's probably enough. So if that's the middle, I'll just measure this off, and that might save you guys. Hopefully mine works. You might want to watch and make sure this works when I get it all done, but it is 25 inches long. So let's see how that works out. And then you can decide how long you want to make yours. Okay, so get your punch and punch it. And you can use this little scale if you've got a crop-a-dial, and just kind of mark it off from the end. So they're both exactly the same. I'm going to turn it around. Try really hard not to let go of it. And punch the other hole. And then feed this through. And you might have to get something to poke it through. I've got these bamboo skewers that I use for all kinds of things up here. See if that'll work. The other side. Try not to get it too twisted up. pull that through, get them the same. And tie it. And I'm going to tie a knot on this too. Now you can, in theory, refill this because you could untie it, open it up, put more paper in it. I don't think that's ever going to happen in my case. So I'm going to tie a knot just because it will make it tidier. And then I'm going to tie my bow. Looks like I didn't need that 25 inches. Looks like I could have got away with a little bit less. Pull it just a little bit smaller. Yeah, so that's a little bit much. So I'm going to trim off probably a little bit more than an inch off each side. So 25 minus 2, 23 inches. 22, 23 inches you could get away with just fine. And so now all you have to do is get your Fabri-Tac and you're going to glue it in. And so make sure it lines up and fits. You want to leave the exact same space on each side of it. I'm going to put a little bit of glue underneath that ribbon and on top of that ribbon. And then we're going to line it up. Leave some space at the bottom and a little bit at the top. Get it all squared up and then just push it down. That should be good to go. You got your little notepad. The next thing is, let's do the back pocket. So there's a back pocket on page 11. So I need to finish inking that real quick. And cut a notch. And this is going to go on the bottom. And so I want to cut the notch here. Turn it over so it's easier to see just kind of eyeball the center. Glue that on. See where your fold is. You might want to trim it. Looks like it's just going to fit just right on mine. Okay, so let me fold this shut and glue this on. And it sticks out just a little bit. No, actually, well, I think it's good. Okay, now we have this, which is an inside pocket, so I'm going to cut it off and ink it real quick on this end. And it's just going to go like right here. So I'm going to cut a notch. Just a small one. Ink that. And glue that in. Whoops, okay. That's why you want to fold it when you glue stuff, because you can't really tell where your fold is. So, okay. And that shuts, and that shuts. Okay. So then we have these two strips, and these are going to go on this panel. And they're just little tuck spots for your cards. If you're going to do the healing card deck, it'll hold a couple of cards on each one. So one, let's see, whoops, one goes on the bottom. This artwork is from old Dutch master paintings, and it's so beautiful. And I hate to kind of cover it up. So, you know, we're going to have a accordion pocket on here that will hold any cards that are left that you don't want to put out, you know, on display. So if you want to leave more of the artwork showing, you can, you know, maybe just put one card in each pocket and let the artwork show, or not, however you want to do it. Whoops. And then, let's see. Pull one of these cards out. So it's going to be here, because you want to make sure you leave room. And then if I put this here, it'll be fine. So that way you know you've got it at the right height to hold 4 if you want to. It actually might be just 2 anyway, because I don't think they're going to overlap, which you could still do that. But if you don't want to overlap, it'd be 1 on each one. So, okay, and down here, yep. All right, so we got that, got that. I think we got it all finished. Yeah, no extra pieces, so I guess we're done. And then, whoops, it folds up like this and says healing is mine. And then this will go under that ribbon on the frame like this, and you'll tuck it in there. So I'm going to go ahead now and tie this into a bow. I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other ones and tie a knot, because now see how it pulls. Be sure you're not pulling it. I mean, get it tight, but don't, you know, bend your page. And that should hold it. And then tie the bow. And you can trim it off if you want to, or leave it long. I'll leave mine for now. And we've got that done. All right. So I think that will be it for this video. And thanks a lot for watching. I hope you're making one too. And I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.